Welcome back to the Unfortunate Diehards podcast, episode 33, hashtag Victor Arvidsson or Frederick Clayson, your choice. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. My name is Evan. I'm an Ottawa Senators fan. To my right,
Omar, Leafs fan.
And to my left,
Sufjan, Caps fan.
Wow, aren't we all sad?
So probably like our most formal intro.
Yep.
Yes, we're all businessmen.
We're trying to get sponsored by Sportsnet.
By PSG.
We can replace Steve Dangle.
Can we get sponsored by Qatar Airways?
Let's go! I mean, no. So sad.
What happened there?
He just quit because he wanted to focus on his own channel. Because he has his own system going, right? Like the podcast plus his LFRs, his YouTube videos and stuff. So he instead of like also working for Sportsnet and doing SDPN, which is his thing, he's just fully going to SDPN now.
I see.
I guess it's lucrative enough to just. I guess SDPN is just lucrative enough now for him.
So Sportsnet, we're here.
Hi. We are, as we said in the first episode,
the Unfortunate Diehards.
No. Well, yes.
Brown folk. We are the only hockey podcast in this entire world on planet Earth that includes two brown people. You will not find that anywhere else.
Good. Now I can use this.
All right, so
a lot of our clips are literally just Omer with like one sentence. It's just like, I'm a Leafs fan, in case you didn't know.
Well, we are in June, so there's not a lot of hockey happening, but it is important hockey.
Ish.
It is the finals. It is the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Florida Panthers. So far, Vegas is up in the series. Florida has only won one game. It was closer, this last one. But the first two were big Vegas wins. So let's start with how you think they've played in general, and then I have a little question for you guys about it. Sufjan?
Sufi has the best opinions about this series, so it's best to start with him.
Sufi has the best opinions in general.
I just generally could care less, man. You got the newest team, so they don't have that many fans because they haven't cared that much. Newest-ish.
Second newest,
fine. But then you also have the team that doesn't have that many fans anyway. So it's kind of just boring. But regardless, everything that's like happening in this series is has been fairly predictable, aside from like the reffing, I guess. But even with the reffing, Florida is getting really like outplayed, and they're resorting to a little too much extracurricular activity, which has resulted in like their best player being out of the game for like many minutes throughout the series, which isn't ideal.
I don't remember Radko Gudas taking big penalties.
And then
Radko Gudas, isn't it?
But the thing is, like, who was I talking to? It might have been Nick that I was talking this about. They have too many of the playing on the edge kind of players, and they're all kind of discombobulating at the exact same time, where it's like they're going too far over the edge, and none of them are actually like doing the hockey portion of that walking on the line kind of thing. When you're talking about guys like Tkachuk and Sam Bennett, etc. But Vegas also, just on paper, is just a better team, and it's like very much showing. Because like goaltending was very much the reason that Florida was in this position, and Bobrovsky has been faltering based on like the defense that he's getting in front of him now too. And Tkachuk hasn't been on the ice long enough to score 6 goals a game. So everything that could go wrong for Florida is kind of going wrong for Florida. So I'm fairly confident Vegas has this in the next game.
I'm pretty confident about Vegas. I mean, I was confident about Vegas before going into the series, considering I thought it was a mismatch. I don't think Florida has played a team in the playoffs so far that is as deep as Vegas, going all the way down, apart from Boston. But Boston, like, you know,
Boston didn't play like Boston.
They didn't play like Boston, exactly, right?
To be fair, Carolina, Florida has, but this is my point, right? Florida has faced like
the hardest teams.
That's like the hardest teams, and those teams like they did everything right against those teams. They had you had Bobrovsky, who was playing absolutely insane for the entire time.
Yeah.
You had Kachuk, who was towing that line well, where he was like playing good and being a menace. But those two major things that were going right for them are just not in the series, and the other parts of their team that should have been exposed with the other teams that they played against, like the faulty decor and lack of scoring after Kachuk, and I guess Barkov or Hagee, whatever. Those things are being brought more to the forefront now because the two major reasons that they were in the final are faltering, like Kachuk, Bobrovsky, right?
Yeah, and Kachuk seemingly might be injured for next game, although chances are he's playing. Apparently, most likely he'll be in. But
yeah, injured doesn't mean anything in hockey, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Florida is any style of game they want to play, Vegas can match it and do it better, I find. The only thing that Florida had going into this series was Kachuk and Bobrovsky, and they've both been kind of
neutralized.
Like Vegas has handled them both well, and Vegas is really deep. They have 4 lines coming at Florida all the time. They can play physical. They also have speed. They have decent speed.
It's the thing, but the thing is, even with Bobrovsky, it's like Florida isn't giving up more high danger chances as they were the rest of the playoffs. They were giving up those chances the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah,
Bobrovsky was just saving them, but now it's just like the wheels have fallen off him because he's just tired now, bro, or whatever. Like, and then Kachuk gets injured / takes many misconducts.
Yeah,
those are your 2 key pieces, and they're gone. The thing with Vegas is that the reason that they are such a better team is that they could lose one major aspect of their team. Like they basically haven't had like a concrete goalie this entire season.
Yeah, and
they've made it to this point.
Yeah,
even their goalie switched in the playoffs, and it went to someone that's been a second or third string goalie his entire career.
Yeah,
and they're fine. But even if Florida or even if Vegas was to lose like a defenseman, if they were to lose like Pietrangelo or Theodore, or if they were to lose Eichel, I think they would still be like in a good enough position to win the series fairly handily. Now, if Florida, as they've shown, have lost Kachuk or Bobrovsky's like great play for like a short period of time, and they're already like faltering.
Yeah. Plus with Kachuk playing injured or whatever.
Yeah.
At the same time, I just don't think the series is going to go past max 6. Like maybe Florida takes one more. I don't know. I don't think they will.
It would require all-time performances.
Yes.
By injured Kachuk and
I feel like Vegas takes it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But at most it's going to 6. I don't think Florida has a chance anymore.
Yeah.
How about you, Evan?
I want Florida to win.
Oh, you want them to win? Oh, because you're a Kachuk guy.
I am a Kachuk guy. Do you know I'm an Ottawa Senators fan?
Yeah. Why do you want his brother to win? Don't you want your brother to be the better one?
He's currently not playing hockey. So.
I don't even think Brady knows who he wants to win because they're both in the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about this?
No, what?
So, Brady Kachuk's getting married this summer.
Okay.
And 2 of the groomsmen are Mark Stone and Matthew Kachuk.
Well, Matthew's obviously
Brady Kachuk is like friends with Mark Stone?
Yeah, when they played together here, and Mark Stone like had him live at his house with them and stuff. So they were really, really close.
Yeah. Wow, okay. And then so it's going to be him and who else apart from Matthew Kachuk, obviously?
Well, those 2. And they're both in the final.
I thought you said someone else.
I feel like Jimmy Stu's going to make an appearance.
There's probably many Senators. Maybe all of them. Or all the ones that are staying.
I feel like there's going to be some guys from like the U.S. national team.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
just think like that's such a hockey family.
Okay, bro,
there's probably
I'm allergic to you. Move.
I'm so sorry. There's like probably so many hockey people that are going to be there because like their family's probably just friends with hockey people too.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys there. We'll do a live episode from the Kachuk wedding.
We'll see the new assistant.
I didn't realize that Brady Kachuk started when Mark Stone was still here.
Yeah.
Mark Stone doesn't leave that long ago.
2018? 19? 18.
It's got to be 19.
Well, 18 was Vegas' first year.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
Yeah, true. He went. So 19, yeah.
17, 18, yeah. It was their first year, and then he was there the next year or the year after.
So 18, 19, he went there. Was he a mid-season trade or a summer?
This could be easily figured out.
It was a summer trade.
We just refuse to look sometimes.
I would assume it was.
Guess. You 2 guess.
Off season of 18, 19.
Whoever gets it right gets $100.
From who?
I'm gonna say 18-19.
It is
So
18-19.
Yeah, I said the offseason.
He was traded. No, he wasn't traded in the offseason. Omer gets it right. He was traded at the deadline. Well, the deadline.
He was?
Considering there was 59 games played for Ottawa in that year. So
And none for Vegas?
18.
Oh.
Yes, I know Stone basically plays 60 games a season, but like that season he actually played like 77. So, which is crazy.
The more you know.
Yeah.
So what
He's
did you
actually
wanna-
played more games in that one season than he has for Vegas. No, I'm kidding.
There's some big chat in the NHL
GBT.
that has to do with big players. Some of them are X40 goal scorers. Some of them are Vezina Trophy winners. So, Connor Helleybuck has expressed that he does not want to sign an extension with the Winnipeg Jets. Alex DeBrincat seems like he may be open to staying in Ottawa, but he's really not sure.
What I've
But it
read.
seems like he would prefer to go somewhere else if possible.
You didn't say it like that for Helleybuck.
Do the reverse trade, send him back to Chicago and get that pick back.
It's not possible.
So it's interesting with these guys in particular. Dubois as well, saying he won't sign an extension in Winnipeg.
Nylander.
Nylander.
And Dubois, he's gonna end up in Montreal at some point. Like part of me, I want Winnipeg just to trade him to like Arizona for him to not play for an entire year, just to be like, screw you.
Yeah. To be fair, Montreal is also playing it well because they're like just waiting for like the price to go down as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because they don't
Or he
move
just
wherever
becomes a
else.
free agent.
Well, exactly, which has to not happen at some point. But
Montreal's gonna love that. Have you heard his name? They're gonna
He-
love him. Pierre-Luc
The thing
Dubois.
is, he fits the most perfectly with Montreal more than just like
A big center.
the more than just the fact that like he wants to play there. I think it's just like the timeline wise as well. It works well with their team. It's just they're milking as much as they can for like trying to get the price down as much as possible, which is fair. Like he can go somewhere else and he won't stay there.
Yeah.
Unless he surprises everyone and just signs 8x8 in Ottawa.
He's like, wow, we could use a fourth line.
Would
center.
you want Dubois on your team?
I don't have room for Dubois on my team.
He'd
I don't know.
I have
center.
Stutzel, Norris, Pinto.
He's like arguably better than Norris.
Well, sure,
I don't
but
think he's better than any of them. I'm not a Dubois guy.
than any of them.
I
I thought you
I-
said he's better than all.
I
of
think
them.
he's a
No.
good second line center. I just don't think that like I'd give. Him
I think he's a
8x8.
very good second line center. Like he can play.
I-
He can play first, but like on a championship team, he's probably your 2C.
on a good team. He's a second line center. I don't think on like a on a
He
good
doesn't
team.
deserve anything more than a third C.
He's not
Huh?
a third.
I think the
I'm not a fan.
attitude wise, you can say whatever you want. But
Yeah.
as a player, he's at very worst a good second line center.
Yeah.
But I've also heard players talk about like, hey, if you are good enough to be able to go where you want, then like fair enough. Like
Go
it's
where you
your
want.
it's your career, it's your like money and
Usually they
whatever.
wait till
Like
free agency
like
to do
Sufi
that.
loves Adam Fox
Yeah.
and he's hating on Pierre-Luc Dubois, but I didn't like Adam Fox for
When
doing
did I
that.
hate on Adam Pierre-Luc Dubois? You hated on him. I just said that he hated on him. I'm saying that like eventually he's gonna end up in Montreal.
I did also say that.
I think so. I think that as well.
Yeah,
I
I-
just don't think he has the best attitude as a player.
Yeah.
But we don't really know that.
I know.
Re-
But,
you know,
I'm
Because
just
we
judging him.
do formally. I do the same thing. We formulate opinions about players, and they can be completely opposite.
You?
And the thing is, you could have the best idea of a player,
Yeah.
and it could be the opposite way too.
Yeah.
So it's just people think that like just because they hear things, oh, this guy asked for a trade, he's the worst human on planet Earth, or oh, they had one argument with a teammate, they're the worst human on planet Earth, or the other way around. This guy donated to a charity, he's the best teammate ever. It's the same difference.
Yeah.
We don't know anything, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
But Travis Konechny's name.
There's a bro.
Philly's
the trade,
trying to clean house.
The
right?
trade
Yeah.
market is way better than the free agency market right now.
Yeah.
And
100%.
the block is hot, bro. People are moving.
Yeah.
Speaking,
I swear to God, bro.
Sophie,
leave.
this is why cats are mean to you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they love me, bro.
Speaking of
I think I'm a bear.
people being moved, so Alex Rinkett has expressed that he would like to go to Detroit, maybe Nashville, something like that. Hope for me, in an ideal world, we trade him in something else to get UC Saros.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Hey.
It's not happening.
A little man can dream.
Okay.
Um,
That's like the Helleybuck to Toronto stuff that Stead keeps talking about.
hey,
Nah, he's too expensive.
That's what I'm saying.
Can't
be
get
worth it though.
It would be.
Yeah, yeah, we both about it. They're not gonna
Would
go
you do a
for
Nylander
that.
Hellebuck trade?
Yeah, probably. I mean, at this point, I'm ready to bring.
I think
yeah,
that's like a guarantee yes for me if I'm a Leafs fan, bro.
yeah. I think I would do that, but I don't think Leafs are gonna do that. I think they're gonna stick with Wall and Samsonov.
Great.
Yeah,
Samson's a UFA though.
I think they might sign him again.
It's not they might sign him; it's what he can leave and make money.
Yeah, but like,
So
tax-free,
how much
maybe.
does he really want to stay in Toronto? Is
maybe
more
he'll
up
go to
him.
Winnipeg.
Maybe he'll go to Ottawa. Ottawa is full-time starting duties. Easy. 5
Really?
times 5?
Nah, Forsberg would still take that. I think.
No. Samsonov, I hate on
They
him a
might
lot.
split.
He's still better than Murray or than Forsberg. Murray. Oof.
Yes,
I think both of them are better than Murray. Like, I think that the reason I'm saying that though is I think Ottawa or a team like Ottawa would give him like starting money, where I think it's like he's probably looking for like a 5 times 5
Yeah,
minimum, which I don't know if Toronto can offer him. Well, which they can't offer him.
I don't think they could offer him.
That'll be
That is-
the next
I don't
person.
think he personally should be getting a 5 times 5. I'm saying that's what he's probably looking for.
Yeah,
Guys, that'll be the next person
the next person who?
to play for all of our teams.
Samsonov.
It's always players I don't really care about.
If
I
that
just-
happens,
yeah,
it'd be
but-
Connor Brown and him.
Yeah, but that's if he comes to Ottawa.
I know. I'm just saying.
That's if you actually want him.
It'd be fun. Okay.
Sure.
I think a Connor Brown McDavid.
Connor Brown back to Ottawa.
I think Connor Brown McDavid reuniting thing is kind of inevitable at this point,
Connor Brown is just a worse version of Zach Hyman.
and he might end up
And
with
Ilya
him.
Mikheyev is a worse version of Connor Brown.
Brown isn't bad. Brown's a good
and
third line winger.
what's his name?
difference
Pierre
between-
Engvall is a worse version of Ilya Mikheyev.
Yeah.
The difference between like Brown and like other players is that he fully accepts that he's a third liner, so he's gonna get paid like a third liner, and he's gonna go and be a good third liner. So I think Edmonton is like it's actually like a perfect fit. Anyways,
Other people who have been moved, names like Ivan Provorov has been traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets. It was a 3-team trade
It's
involving
a weird
the
trade.
Kings, the Blue Jackets, and the Flyers. Cal Peterson going to LA as well. Sean Walker.
Yeah.
And picks as well. So it was an interesting trade. I liked it more than other people that I was talking to about, just because I feel like
so us.
I was talking to Nick and people too. So I think Provorov is still a pretty solid defenseman. I think that like in other places, like you're playing in such a place where the past like 3 years you're doing nothing. Like the team stinks, and like not even like. And then you get this super hardcore coach coming in as well. Like he's probably just like over it at this point. I'm assuming. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he had a much better season this upcoming year.
He's going to Tortorella.
No, he's not. He went the other way.
Yeah, he
Goof.
went the other way. Yeah, it was
Stupid.
Damn.
Sorry, who came the other way? Who came to Philly?
Sean Walker and Cal Peterson.
And Kovarov.
Kings were just here to party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. I mean, I don't mind that deal. I like that deal for Columbus.
Yeah, and so
I like it for Philly.
Damien Severson
I'm for Philly. Yeah.
also going to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Okay, regardless of what you think about Provorov, what they've done is create the most mid decor you can possibly make.
Who Columbus?
Columbus. It's
I
like
think it's all
it's,
right.
it's
I
like,
think it's a good.
but here's my point. Okay, like
Zach Werenski is all right, man.
here's my point. Right, I'm high on Warrenski more than other people, but
You're high,
bro,
Bubba.
you actually have ADD. It's bad. Like
Sophie's bullying me.
they've created like they've spent so much money on a decor that's like maybe in the middle of the league in terms of like how good it is, and they've spent so much money on it. And then you have 2 forwards that you're paying a lot of money. Eventually, you're gonna have contracts for like Sillinger and Johnson, who are solid players, or going to be solid players. Not gonna be able to pay them the premium that they want. And on top of that, you don't have a forward core right now that's like good enough to compete anywhere near the top of the league. Plus, on top of that, the decor isn't anything special for how much money you spent on it. On top of that, they also have shaky goaltending. So I don't think this really moves the needle in any direction that much for Columbus. Like it doesn't put them it doesn't really put them in like a playoff contention place.
No, not a playoff. I do think it makes them better.
Oh,
sure, no, it does.
for sure.
It does make them
Yeah.
better, but it's not like they're not. They spend so much money on this decor that it doesn't really do it enough to like.
But they have money that they probably needed to spend. Like if you look at that forecourt,
But
other
why
than
would
like
you- it's
other
not-
than
it's
like
not
a
good
couple
money to
guys
spend, though. Just because you spent $12 million
to get to the floor, they probably had to pay people.
No, they
They
did, bro.
they got rid of their goalie, and then maybe are getting rid of
Korpisalo was making like $3 million,
and getting rid of who would have had to re-sign.
and
this year.
Gavrikov wasn't making that
And-
much either.
And you would have had to re-sign him for this year as well,
Bro.
which would have been 2 bumps. So, and those were pieces they could move for assets back. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
So then you only have a couple guys up front that are
Bro.
making any sort of substantial money. So even to get the cap floor, like you look at other teams who
They're
have to sign people or trade for
their
contracts.
4 defensemen are making.
I'm not saying they're going to make the
No,
playoffs,
no,
and I don't
okay,
think
you're not listening, bro. The 4 defensemen that they're paying a combined like 30 mil, it doesn't create a good decor. That's my point. That's not like you're talking. You're telling me that in the top half of the league, you would consider Werenski, Severson, Provorov, and Goodbranson as a good
Branson's not going to be in the top 4.
Goodbranson's making 4 mil. That's
Boqvist?
my point. Goodbranson's making 4 mil though. That's it. You want to put him in the bottom pair? Sure. I'm just saying that he's making top 4 money. That decor itself is not a playoff contention decor. It's not a bro. What is happening?
She's on something right now, man. I don't
It's
know.
not a playoff contention decor. It's a maybe a get to the floor decor, but like they don't have the money to they don't have the money to like splurge on offensive players anymore, or even like they just didn't spend the money on like the right defensive players. Like Provorov, you're saying might have a bounce back season because he's going to like a less stressful environment. I guess he's still going to a bad team, and Philly wasn't bad. Philly was bad because their players were bad, and he was one of the players that was bad. And it's not like he had many years of track record before that were good. He had 1 or 2 good seasons maybe, and then he's been bad since.
Philly's
and it's
also
not
been bad for a
no,
long
but
time, though.
but that's a product of the players, bro.
Yeah, but
And he's one of the major pieces of that team.
yeah,
So
but
what?
it's
He's
also
not magically going to start being good again?
like there's players when they're on a really bad team. Like
Is he going to a really good team now?
like think about it when we play like a stock game, we're like, oh, who's the worst in like minuses. We think of bad teams because it affects players, right? So
But bro, he's not going to a better team.
he's not going.
But he's
to,
still going to a different
He's
team
going to a different
with
team.
more upside
Sure.
because they got other defense. They have a first line, and they're going to get Fantilli. They have other young guys who they don't.
Fantilli?
What pick do they have? 3, 4?
I don't know.
Sorry, they're
I
not.
can't-
I can't
Anyway,
remember.
sorry, they're going to get a
It's
high
like 5 or
pick.
something.
They already have Kent Johnson, like guys they don't have to pay for a
It
while.
has more
too.
upside than Philly, but that's not hard.
So
I'm
they-
saying, but like
Yeah, but they don't have
The
more.
point is they're more competitive.
My point is this long term hurts Columbus because their decor, they spend too much money on guys that are mid players.
But some of these guys aren't that old.
Yeah.
They're
They're
not
mid-players,
getting,
bro.
but they're not getting guys that
See,
are like
they-
33.
See, they have a decent defense after this.
It's still
Yeah.
bottom half defense core. It really is.
Bottom half is a tough argument.
Werenski, Severson, Goodbranson, Boqvist, and
But you're picking money at this point.
Yeah, you're using money to justify it though.
What?
As you argue,
You were using good
You're saying
Branson
it's
in
'cause
top
they
4
get
because
paid
of the
a lot
money
of money,
argument.
right?
okay, even if you put Boqvist there over Goodbranson, it still isn't a top half.
I disagree.
Nah, I don't.
Oh, come on, man.
They'll fit
But you guys
into
are
the
are
top
higher
half.
on Provorov than me, I guess. I don't know, but like for
Well,
me, that
Provorov is
isn't-
still like we'll see how he does. right?
he's a good enough.
They
top
have a
4
top
defenseman.
number 1 defenseman, and then they have 3 guys at least that are top 4 guys.
And not only that,
How
but
is
they-
that a
but
bad defense?
Not only that, but they
It's a mid defense core, bro. That's what I'm saying. But they spent
yeah.
so much money on it that it shouldn't be a mid defense core.
Okay, but a mid.
But
doesn't put them
in
the
a
bottom
perfect
half,
world,
right?
no one's going to spend the perfect amount of money and have the perfect defense
Oh
core.
my
Yeah.
god, bro. You guys are so idealistic.
Well, even
players.
Ottawa, for example,
It's not
I would say
ideal,
they
it's-
have
it
4
really
guys
is.
that are pretty good. But yeah, there are guys on the. I'm agreeing that I would take Ottawa's decor, but like in 2 years or a year, whatever it is, when Chychrun and Sanderson need money, that's probably 8 mil to 3 guys. Then B. Shabbat already has, like at the time, Sanderson could probably argue to get he could get 8 somewhere. Is my point. Like I don't know if he will get 8, but like. Chychrun's going to want a bump. Sanderson's going to want a huge bump from obviously what he's making. Shabbat makes 8 already. You have Zub making 4 and 4.6 or whatever. Like that's a lot of money. And yeah, it's great to have those guys, but not everyone's going to be able to have the options to be bad and draft those guys, or have the option to just trade for.
If you're
Chychrun.
saying that they're doing the best they can with what they have, sure, but like,
yeah,
fine. But I'm seeing it in a harsher light where I'm like, this isn't gonna, even if they improve marginally, I don't think that this is gonna help them in the long run that much.
So you don't think this team in the next few years will be a playoff team with the moves they made right now?
No, I also like.
Wait, so what you're saying?
For me, right now, they're still not even close to being a playoff team with the decor that they have.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, but the thing is, like, you have to, those two young players that you have on offense have to improve a lot, like just in general. And then Gaudreau, Laine, for me, they get points. Great. They're not a reliable offensive core just in general. Like, they don't contribute much aside from like point production. And on top of that, like, Laine is one of the most inconsistent players in the league by like a mile.
Yeah.
And Gaudreau, I think, is like a elite player. But like, the rest of that offensive core needs to improve like a lot to justify this decor making that much money to make the playoffs.
I think too, when you look at Columbus, kind of like an Ottawa syndrome, you don't almost ever have guys wanting to go there in free agency. So, like, even Ottawa now, to improve your team, you have to do trades, as well as trading for guys that don't have team lists, because they're going to put Columbus on there and then they can't get traded there. So for them to improve the team, even if it is marginally, I think trading for guys when you can to improve your team. So for Columbus, I think it's a win, because in a different world, they're not going to get top 4 defensemen to just want to go there, even if they do pay them. Like, even Werenski, sure, he's great. Is he worth almost $10 million? Probably not. But they gave him, he's making $9.85, I think.
But the thing is, yes, they have to keep, they do have to pay a premium to get those players, and I think Provorov was making too much money in general, so it actually fits.
Well, they did retain money in LA from him.
So that's fair on that front. And then I think the Severson thing too, it kind of just like screws the rest of the league a little bit in terms of UFA dollars, which happens at some point. Like,
every year it happens.
And to be fair, Columbus did that last year too with Branson. So, because realistically, he's like a 5.5 at most defenseman. The thing is, they gave him term plus 6.25 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Which might not be the only team that would do that for him. It's just,
yeah, he probably could have something similar.
He could have had something similar. It's just like the term with that AAV is like a lot. Like, I think maybe some teams would have given him like 5 and then maybe like 6, but I don't think there's a team that would have given him 8 times 2 points, 6.25. Regardless, they have, like, it's very evident that they have to spend more money to get players, especially after the Goodbranson thing. So I'm there with you on that front. For me personally, I just don't think this. Like, I think they're doing the best of what they can in Columbus. I just don't think that it really makes them any scarier of a team at all.
It doesn't make them any scarier of a team in
but it's
short term right now.
But it's still, like, for me, Johnson and Cylinder have to very much improve off the season. Like, it was an okay first season for them, but they have to, like, take it to the moon, and then they have to get paid if they're going to play that good.
Yeah.
And then someone's got to go. Goodbranson's got to go. Someone's got to go.
Yep.
And the goaltending has to be figured out. Merzlikins is like okay, and they don't have a B.
Yeah, I think. I mean, they'll be a little bit better this year. I don't think they're going to be. They might not be like bottom 3. But they're not gonna.
It's like a mid spot. It's like Detroit, Buffalo, Ottawa, but like not last year, the year before that. It's just I had more hope for those teams than I do for this team.
Yeah, I think Babcock will bring some kind of.
Babcock's the one that I was thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah,
they'll bring some
going
kind
from
of
Tortorella to Babcock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so much lighter.
Yeah, well, we have to see if Babcock's made any changes to the way he is in the last, like, 4 years or whatever, 5 years since he got fired. But
we'll see how much Babcock cares about Pride Month. And then we'll see what happens pro Raw.
But yeah, I think Babcock coming in makes an improvement on that team right away anyway.
Does it?
I mean, systems wise, I think Babcock's a good coach, right? He's able to make a team play well.
Because he hasn't coached in like 4 years.
No, he's coached. He's not in the NHL.
He's not in the NHL. Yeah. He had a couple of stints in university. Yeah.
This guy.
No, so I think the one thing about Babcock is that players have never liked him, but his systems have always worked.
I didn't
right?
know actually before the Marner thing came up. I didn't know that people didn't like him.
Well, I knew about like Mike Commodore before the Marner stuff.
Mike Commodore doesn't like very many people. I'll be completely honest. He
has, like, he was like how he was like the most vocal guy about Babcock. But even other guys, like when Babcock left Toronto, like Detroit guys, they were pretty happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually makes sense.
Yeah. Like I think Zetterberg had an interview as well. Like right after Babcock left, and he's like, yeah, I think this is a change and stuff that's good. That, no one was like, oh, it's back to see Babcock go kind of thing,
But he's not a player coach.
The thing
Like
is,
player coaches, I feel like you hear more about like, oh, I wish he didn't leave. Like we really liked him. Where it's like, I feel like a lot of people, even with Torts, even though he gets like results,
yeah,
they're not like like some guys do. Like Nick Foligno apparently really like Torts, but like I feel like you're gonna hear a lot of guys that really don't like Torts too, or like Bruce Cassidy or something.
But there's a difference between like Torts is a hard ass. He's intense. He can be crazy, but he's like, well, from what it seems like, he's a very honest and like genuine person in terms of like he'll just tell you to your face if something's up. He'll be hard on you, but he has like his players' best interest in mind and stuff and everything. Like so, like that's one part of it. But like Babcock was like pulling other stunts, right? Like he was like a toxic human being for a team to have from what.
And you guys gave him $5.5 million a year as a coach,
which he's still making.
Yeah. No, it's done now.
Oh, it's done now.
No, as of July 1st.
Yeah, that's why the waivers.
Yeah, that's why he's not officially announced. Yeah. But the thing with Babcock is if he's improved that bit systems wise and like in terms of the game of in terms of the way that team can play, I think he'll make a positive impact.
Hey, you know what? All this Columbus news is the most they've ever been talked about. So like.
But yeah, Connor Helleybuck is the more interesting one for this offseason for me. I want to see where he goes.
I want to see if he goes because I think Vegas might play themselves out of a trade here if they play too much hardball and then he just leaves for free. Or at the deadline where the price is dropped.
You mean Winnipeg?
Did I say Vegas?
Yeah, I was like, is Vegas trying to get him?
I was thinking, is Vegas trying to
because there's like teams that really need a goalie and there's teams that like are like, oh, it'd be nice to have Helleybuck. So the market,
it would be nice.
Yeah, but like compared to what they have right now.
Yep.
Where if they have like a star, then they'll be like, okay, you know what, you can go and we'll go trade for Helleybuck. But I think they really need to just focus on the teams that really need a goalie, i.e. Toronto.
Oh.
And maybe take advantage of some teams that are like in a weird goalie situation. Go for that. And like really get that trade done this offseason. Otherwise they run the risk of like waiting till the like deadline or offseason and getting either nothing or way less for him.
I could see him in Ottawa.
I'd be happy with the Helleybuck Wool.
I could see him in
tandem,
everywhere.
In everywhere?
Like Wool backup, Helleybuck starter.
I'm trying to think. I don't think Ottawa would go for him. Ottawa's not the...
Hey, we've been swinging lately for the big trades.
Yeah.
Who would you give up for Helleybuck in a trade?
My firstborn child.
Let's go.
Which is?
On the way. Big news.
Surprise! No. I would say I would give...
Forsberg.
I feel like we have to use the Brinket because you guys can try to convince him to stay there. He's an asset.
No, but he's not going to work unless it's a sign-in trade.
It's got to be a sign-in trade.
But
there's no way it's going to work without a sign-in trade.
How much?
Okay, well, I did hear. Something that Ottawa might try to do is, if it's the Brinket and they can't get a goalie via trade, then they'll try to get something to help out. But if there is, like, for assets, they want to acquire assets that, for example, like, let's just say Helleybuck was the end goal. They'll trade the Brinket to whoever, even if it's Detroit. You get assets with picks, prospects, whoever, a young player. And then you flip those with other stuff to Winnipeg, hypothetically. So I think Ottawa would give up maybe even two, like Brandstrom and one of the defense prospects being like Thompson or Bernard Docker. They'd have to give up whatever they got back from Detroit. Maybe that's like Zadina and a first.
Oh, that's got to be a sign and trade, otherwise that's not happening.
I'm just saying, he would sign in Detroit, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So Zadina and a first, let's say it is, just as an example. So you send Zadina a first, those two guys, maybe a roster player.
I'm also going to assume the Brinket doesn't want to go to Winnipeg.
Yeah, they're going to want like Pinto.
Or Joseph.
You can have Joseph over Pinto.
But would you,
Yeah, but I don't know.
like,
That'd be
you
overkill.
trade Pinto for Helleybuck? Like, you didn't put him in the deal?
1 for 1? Yeah.
Oh, no.
I don't think Pinto swings.
Helleybuck.
enough
Well,
to
apparently,
trade.
like people, like for Carter Hart, they were talking about that in general, and they were like, Philly would really want Shane Pinto back in that return, just because I feel like Pinto's that guy that, like, even with the Swayman trade, I think I talked with you, like if Ottawa were to go for Swayman, like people would want Shane Pinto because Ottawa's not going to move to two guys that just signed for big extensions, but they could trade Pinto and probably lesser, like Ridley Gregg, like guys who like Gregg a little bit and then Pinto even more, like played in the NHL, showed that they can play at this level and hopefully could be middle to top 6 centers, like a second line ceiling probably.
Middle 6, then yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
that has to happen if that's going to happen with DeBrincat though, because like he's not signing and trading in Winnipeg of all teams.
No, I know, but I did hear like they would, if they could facilitate another trade, be like, okay, well, what kind of stuff would you want? And they will go and try to acquire that via the Alex DeBrincat route.
On that route, I'm going to be a bit of an attention W, and there's been like a lot of articles about top 6 forwards. Washington, I mentioned it every single podcast. And the whole idea with the hiring of Spencer Carberry, which I don't even know if we talked about.
Maybe mentioned it, but I don't think we talked about it.
He got hired.
Yeah.
And he was the assistant for Toronto.
Yep.
Before that, he was a coach in Hershey. Connor McMichael, excited to have him because now he knows he's going to play.
Yeah.
Thankfully. And just a lot of the Hershey guys in general that were kind of getting blocked out by like aging veterans that didn't really deserve a spot over them. And I'm talking like Irwin, etc. Even Gustafson to an extent. Like he played well in Carlson's absence, but like there's definitely guys that were just waiting in the wings that we should have been playing because they're like at the age where you need to make that transition or it stunts your growth. So Carberry's going to help with that. But on top of that, Brian McClellan's been like very, very adamant that he's going to try to get a young top 6 forward, which was kind of one of the conditions for like Ovi saying okay to them tanking a bit at the deadline.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that he has to say yes to that, but we'd also be like, but the thing is, the caliber of player is still like up for discussion. Like we don't know if it's going to be like like we're going to swing for the fences for like DeBrincat, Nylander, etc., Keller. Or if it's going to be just a lesser, like a good top 6 forward like Konechny. Like that's been a pretty big discussion as well. For me, I don't care. I just want a top 6 forward that is viable and plug him in there. Get rid of Kuznetsov, get rid of Mantha, which there's been multiple reports about. I don't know why I said that twice, but I think it's just to emphasize.
Many multiples.
Yes, that teams have asked, and they are also actively like trying to trade them now, whatever that means. But I think both of them are gone at some point, and that frees up a lot of money. Like that frees up 14-ish mil.
Mantha and who?
No, that frees up like 12.5 mil. Mantha and Kuznetsov.
Kuznetsov to Toronto.
God. But regardless, like I don't know if they'll necessarily be included in the trade for the top 6 forwards. I think it's possible. But that could definitely be like a 3-team deal that I'm looking at here because Mantha especially is just going to be like a cap dump essentially, where I think Kuznetsov still has enough ability to like contribute to a team. But the thing is, I think that of the like higher caliber players that I'm talking about, like Keller, DeBrincat, Nylander, I think the most sense would be Keller as a trading partner because Arizona has the cap space to take a player like Kuznetsov. And if he wants the whole change of scenery / I want ice time, he's going to get it in Arizona.
Yeah.
And then Keller back would be the best player possible for us to get. So I think that's definitely the most ideal situation. Like if we got Keller, I might be playing the Stanley Cup Parade next year. So, and then in draft wise, we're in a volatile position where we're just like, we are old and like looking to like make one last run with Ovi.
We are old is like Omar telling me you're old.
But
I know.
But with the younger prospects and stuff finally making the chance to make the team, I think we're definitely going to take the pick, and hopefully there's a certain Russian player that falls to number 8.
Vladislav
Nemesnikov.
Just kidding. Slava.
The thing is with Michkov, there's been so many like different discussions with him, and there's also been talk of like the 8-6. So Arizona's at 6, Washington's at 8. If Kuznetsov, Mantha, whatever happens, Keller, that can happen there. Where it's like we move up 2, give them Kuznetsov, give them the 8th pick, multiple picks, prospect.
You think if Kuznetsov goes to Arizona, that's going to work out?
Have you not been paying attention this whole time?
Yeah. I've literally been like...
He explained this.
Looking around.
Why?
No, like... I just feel like Kuznetsov, if he went to... Like, maybe it's just me speculating. If he went to Arizona, I feel like he would play so much worse. It'd be like Phil Kessel in Arizona. Taylor Hall in Arizona.
The point for Kuznetsov...
He would just become fat.
The point for Kuznetsov isn't necessarily that, like he's going to try to win or whatever. He's already got his contract.
Like, do you think Kuznetsov loves hockey, or do you think he's just good at hockey?
He's already got his contract. He's already got his cup. Like, I think he's like just wants to play and not be like.
He just wants to play and earn some money.
He also doesn't want to be stressed. Like right now, Washington, every single time he makes like a mistake, he got benched.
Yeah.
Which fair enough, because all of his mistakes were direct turnovers to Tage Thompson. So I think that's like, because I think he's a good enough player to at least be like a 60-point player on any team.
How old is he now?
30.
Okay.
And he still has like a good amount of years left where I think he finishes out his contract, goes to the KHL. Happy days. But I think he definitely has the offensive skill to be at least a 60-point player. Like just from watching him for however many years I've had, I think if he gets the ice time and like one other player to like score, he can easily get to like 60 a year.
And you think you're going to get Keller?
I don't think Keller is necessarily going to be in that trade. The thing is, like, for a Keller trade, we'd have to give either Mantha or Kuznetsov, and then we'd have to add on top of that. So
I feel like Mantha would be like
how have you not paid attention this whole time, bro? We literally talked about this like 10 minutes ago. I don't care if it's not your team. You got to pay attention.
I did pay attention.
No, you didn't.
I heard the names.
Yeah, but you got to pay attention.
But regardless, Keller's definitely the most likely of like the bigger forwards because Arizona actually has cap space. Where if we were to go to like DeBrincat, first off, you'd have to sign and trade in Washington, which is his own obstacle, and then probably cost a little bit more, and they wouldn't be able to take any more contracts because they have to sign players in like a year or two. Where Arizona doesn't seem to ever have that issue. So, yeah.
All right.
Nylander would be interesting though.
Yeah.
Sandine and Nylander reunited.
And they both love Backstrom. Imagine we just trade him for Backstrom.
Put him on LTIR, use that cap space.
Well, that's the other big thing, right? Because Backstrom, McClellan for like every single interviews that he's had in this offseason has been like, we're going to decide about Backstrom's future when we get to training camp, as if Backstrom doesn't have any choice in that. So he might not even be playing next year. Like ever
He
again.
probably shouldn't.
He's definitely declined a lot, and
Not because of his play, but like for his
but that's what I'm saying.
rest
like,
of his life health.
But like, I think he feels he's in a different spot where the rest of us are kind of just like, we love you, you want us a cup. Now I think it's time to become our assistant coach and call it a day. I am excited for Carberry and our power play changing under that because our power play has been horrible for the last 2 years. If it is an Ovechkin scoring a one-timer, we're not scoring at all.
Homer's the stat game.
The stat game?
Yes.
Okay, stat game, guys. Sorry for our relationship issues.
Yeah, keep that all in, bro.
Okay, so today's stat game. Since, I think in the last week, especially even in the last podcast, we had a lot of discussion about the importance of individual players on teams, whether it be Kachuk or Bobrovsky or, who should be the Conn Smythe winner, whether it be Gudis, So I thought
can be Gudis now.
I thought today's stat game should be about,
Penalty minutes?
team carriers a little bit. Not team carriers, but like in that sense, but like really important pieces to their teams in playoff runs. So today's stat game is going to be going back to 2013-14 up until now. So after the lockout shortened season, the season right after that, 2013-14 until now. And we're going to go over the top 10 players who have played a minimum of 100 playoff games. Time on ice.
Like just players?
Yes, not necessarily a specific position, but time on ice with players who've played a minimum of 100 games.
These have to pretty much just be defensemen like McDavid. 100 games, he's played 100 games.
It has to just be people who've played a lot in the playoffs.
Time on ice, though. It's all like...
Yeah, but...
There's usually 2 defensemen per team that are like 20
Sure,
over.
but if they were on like 2 or 3 good runs, it's not 100 games.
Is this time on ice total, or are we talking like average time on ice?
Time on ice per game played, so average.
Yeah, so it's got to be defenseman. Because good defensemen in the playoffs play like 26 plus.
Do you want me to give you a breakdown of the positions that are on this?
No.
Or is that too big of a hint?
Let's just strike limit.
I'll do 4.
I know a player that's definitely on this. Drew Doughty. Like for sure is on this.
Yeah.
And then
It has to be put like...
Because even
Like if I thought... I know Victor Hedman has played over 100. But I'm saying like... If I was like, oh, Sergachev, he just maybe hasn't played 100. Or like... I was like, oh, Roman Josi, because he's been good for so long, also just hasn't played enough in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's...
So you have to like weigh in like, oh, well, maybe like it is Steven Stamkos.
Yeah, but I think there's been 10 defensemen that average at least like 25 plus that have played 100 games in that time.
So like Doughty, Keith, Hedman.
Doughty, Keith Hedman, even Josi. Burns.
100 playoff... Burns, yeah. Not
Burns.
Josi, I wouldn't say.
Nashville had that one run. Remember last time?
Yeah,
that
the
we
one run.
How much the
That can be 16 to 20.
Oh, Seabrook. He was there 2015 and then 2014.
Yeah.
Letang.
Letang.
Okay, let's get the Doughty. Doughty.
Doughty is not on there.
How?
He messed up the stats again for sure.
I don't even think Doughty has... Because Doughty's not even on, like... He's not even, like, top 21 here.
100 games.
I don't even think Doughty has 100 games in it.
I guess they didn't make the playoffs for a while.
Yeah. He doesn't have
Burns.
100 games, I don't think.
Burns.
So strike 1 was that.
Burns.
You going Burns? Same thing, he's not on there.
Is he another games played merchant?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yep.
Who the hell's Keith?
Like Duncan Keith, you're saying?
It's got to be Keith and Hedman.
Let's go
Which
ahead.
one?
Yeah, no, we're not.
So are you giving me Hedman, you said?
Yes.
All right, Victor Hedman. Number 2.
Okay. If he wasn't on the list, I was like, something's wrong.
So 142 games played in the playoffs
You know
and
what I
average ice time of 25-18.
You know who I think like, I would put like my firstborn child on it?
Ryan McDonough.
Yeah.
wait.
Because New York runs.
Wait.
plus Tampa.
Let me just give you guys a little fun fact. So, Suvi Omer and I played a little NHL game the other day just for funsies. And we were naming current NHL players with the last name starting with M that you would have on a pulled goalie situation to score you a goal. And we drafted in order, kind of snake draft style. And with Omer's first pick,
Second pick.
so was a top 6 player picked. Maybe even higher than that. He picked Ryan McDonough. Current Ryan McDonough.
No, I said in their prime. Ryan
No, we
McDonough.
picked current players.
Yeah, but I was when I was saying it.
Even that is still pretty outrageous.
Yes, but I still say in their prime.
Anyway.
So are you giving me Ryan McDonough after that?
Sure.
Number 3.
Yeah, that's why he chose this, Loki.
148 games played, average 24.02. So you have, you know what, I'll up it to 5 strikes because you already have 2. I guess it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
The games played is what's
The
getting
games
us
played
here.
is what's getting you, yeah.
Letang.
Yeah.
Yeah, Letang.
Lieutenant Latang?
Letang.
Letang is not on there.
That's cap.
There's no way.
This list is wrong. Who have we gotten so far? Hedman, it's only Tampa Bay Lightning.
Because how does that even make sense? Pittsburgh made the playoffs every single year. and he's their best defenseman.
It doesn't make sense.
Because then the only other team I would think is like,
Can I see
'Cause, like-
your little filters up there? Something's wrong.
No, seriously. This all makes sense.
well, I guess we'll find out. Because like, what's Hedman and who else we picked? It makes sense. Because the only other guy,
Chernak,
no, because like
Ruta.
teams that have made the playoffs every single year, besides one is Washington or two, so that'd be Carlson. Has he played 100? I don't know. One run plus like 10 games each time. So I don't know. He could be like a later one. Who else has made the playoffs every year?
I'll give you the hint I was telling you about.
No.
Okay.
Maybe there's a forward on there.
I know.
But
Like 24 at number 3 isn't that high.
the only forward that I know that's averaged more than that is McDavid. But has he played 100 games?
I don't think so. Probably not.
So we're hoping.
Okay, you had 3 strikes. By the way, you have 2 more.
For 3?
Yeah,
Oh.
you gave me 3 wrong players.
Duncan Keith wasn't on there, bro.
Okay, sorry.
Is this including this year's playoffs?
It looks like it is.
So
Yes.
yes, because he didn't change the other date. So yeah, I think Petrangelo's on there.
Yep, it is including this year.
Pi Trangelo?
Final answer.
I didn't like how he said that.
I don't know. Torrey Krug?
Oh, shut up. Oh, maybe.
Because I think Boston plus St. Louis. And he took over Chara's spot, so he played more than him. Was Chara be on this? No,
Maybe.
It was like very early in the. I would say Krug over Petrangelo, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't agree, but sure.
I would just say both.
Crutchangelo.
Which one are you giving me?
Petrangelo.
Petrangelo?
Yeah.
Number 1.
Oh, thank God. Go Krug.
117 games played, averages 26-16.
26-16.
I think it's like Shea Theodore.
Bro, Petrangelo barely made this list. 117? I don't think it's going to be Shea Theodore. I don't think any Vegas players aside from him are on here.
Okay, well, you can say Krug. I wouldn't say Krug, but you can say Krug.
Let's brainstorm, bro. Who else has played more than Krug in the playoffs?
No one.
I can't think of anyone.
Suter, maybe.
It's literally Suter, Krug, Carlson would be a guess, I guess.
Are any of
Sergachev.
these people retired?
It's all correct.
Suter, Krug, Carlson. No, I guess it's not San Jose players, so it wouldn't be Vlasic. Unless Carlson?
Eric? No. He definitely doesn't have 100.
Yeah.
Or if he does, that's a freaking.
Oh, sorry,
That's a
one of these guys is now retired.
Now retired?
Subban?
He played 100, has he?
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah,
player
yeah.
that I'm talking about played. Oh, sorry. I think he's like. Well, I mean, he played this season. I don't know if he's continuing.
So he's not retired.
He's
Andy-
36 years old,
Andy Green.
but like I think it's up in the air.
Okay, so he's not actually retired.
Susie.
Not like 100%. No,
Okay.
unless it's been announced and I missed it.
Yeah, no. But then we're just going to assume that he's not.
Yeah.
I guess.
Anton Strawman.
No. Watch it actually be him. Matthias Ekholm.
He's not 36.
No, but I'm just saying in general.
Dumb.
What's there be natural players on this? I think Krug.
Okay, you go with him.
Krug.
That is incorrect.
Fuck. Is he on there?
So you have 4 strikes. You have 1 more
Okay,
strike.
let's just think of the teams that we've said.
Tampa.
Excluding Petrangelo.
What if it is Sergachev?
It could be Sergachev.
Can I ask how many games played Victor Hedman has?
142.
It could be Sergachev.
Yeah, because Tampa didn't really make the playoffs before. Like,
Just don't get Sergachev.
okay.
What? I didn't.
No. So we can't get Sergachev actually.
Oh,
yeah.
why?
I'm not feeling him.
Yeah.
Dan Girardi. Like at this point, I don't know.
Mark Stahl.
Oh God. Watch him be on this.
Maybe. He probably has enough games.
Can I give you a hint now?
It's not Mark.
No, we're not done.
Okay, but the hint will help.
We're gonna get them.
You only have 1 strike left. There's
know.
no way you're getting it.
Giordano.
No.
This the freaking games played that's pissing me off here.
I'm gonna say one thing. I think you guys are making it a little bit more complicated than you need to.
But how,
in
bro?
terms of the games played. Just think of some of the bigger teams that were also in the
We
playoffs
have
this
literally
season.
said this year. Dallas? Suter. Suter. Weber? No. Suter.
Could be Weber, actually.
Weber would only be Nashville, or no, Nashville plus Montreal, which is like 60 games, but nothing outside of that.
I wouldn't guess Weber.
I wouldn't
Okay, well,
either.
we weren't
We weren't actually
going
guessing. Stop
to.
doing this.
Okay, he doesn't say don't guess Suter. Maybe we should just guess Suter.
I wouldn't guess Suter.
You stop telling us.
Think of teams that he's.
Okay, we'll
this
whisper
year.
to each other.
Maybe Carolina. Slavin.
I don't think he played 100 games.
Bro, they've made the conference finals 3 times. They just got swept in it, but we'll put him on the back.
I'm demoralized.
Slavin Carlson will keep on the back.
Morgan Riley.
Not a chance.
That's the most Omer thing that's ever coming out of my mouth. Omer. Oh.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. Of the remaining players that are left, meaning you've got the top 3, so you have 7 left. Of the 7 players that are left,
They're all forwards.
okay, no,
Imagine.
uh,
That he definitely filtered wrong.
3, 4, 5 of them were in the playoffs this season.
That's weird.
Great.
I'm just saying that
That
you
just
guys,
narrows down the team.
a lot of the players you guys are talking about, like Weber and this guy and that guy, like they just weren't there.
Okay, it still could be Carlson because there's still 2 teams that aren't. Not Eric, the other one.
Gabriel.
He was on Washington.
Sorry, not even 5 of them, 6 of them.
Yeah.
6 of them. Only one of the players was not in the playoffs this season.
Okay,
That does not help me.
So
Jared Spurgeon.
I guess Sergachev is like the only.
He said don't guess Sergachev.
Oh,
I did say that.
Dan Girardi. He is technically
Oh,
retired. I
man.
guess.
Of the remaining players, 2 of them are defensemen.
What?
I told you it wasn't going to be just defensemen.
The games played is the only reason for that. McKinnon. It could be Colorado players. 100 games is a lot.
I have no idea.
Makar.
No.
Weird, bro.
Guess McKinnon.
Give me a guess
That'd be a
now,
good
someone.
one.
Landeskog?
Stay clear of Colorado
Just
players.
Okay.
Well, this last strike's doing us well.
Yeah, so what a game this is, bro.
Crosby.
I guess. Crosby, Malkin. Who else? What other defensemen played a lot of Pittsburgh? Literally,
Dumoulin.
Dumoulin is the only other defenseman on that team. Sergei Gonchar.
Let's go with Gonchar.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, that's funny. All the stat games demoralized.
Yeah, I hate Domer stacking.
Why?
Why is it
We're
100
gonna take
games?
you out of the rotation.
Why is that usually pretty easy?
No, they're not. They're
If you made
like
that 50 games, easy.
Really?
Yeah.
change it to 50. I bet we've said all of them.
100
Change it to 50 right now and see who comes up, and then change it back.
Fine.
Tell us who was on there that we said.
Shea Weber.
Okay, I gotta give you some players, and we gotta pick who we feel the most confident about. He
50, okay. Chris Letang is on there. Duncan Keith is on there, who you said.
Keep going. Name the top 10.
No,
Unless
just in case there's crossover, 1 sec. So Chris Letang was on there. Keith was on there. Subban was actually on there. Shea Weber.
Krug.
Krug's not on there, no.
Okay.
Does Krug make the top whatever?
I don't care about Krug.
Okay.
Parayko.
Brent Burns was on there. And then Hedman and, of course, Petrangelo still.
Well, yeah, all those.
And
guys.
Roman Yossi was on there. PK Subban. Heiskanen was on there.
Damn.
And Ryan Suter.
So we would have gotten almost all of them.
If it was a
it
viable,
was 50.
If it was a viable games
Okay,
played.
go back to your.
But I thought 100 would make
No,
it
go
more.
to your 100.
I'm just a lot,
I'm
bro.
upset.
Well, if there's like,
Joe Pavelski.
I guess he's played a lot of playoff games.
He definitely has enough.
Sure.
Joe Pavelski?
Jason Spezza.
Are you going with Joe Pavelski?
Joe Pavelski.
Joe Pavelski's number 5.
Fuck.
108 games played. 19,
Even
45
he
average.
barely made the.
Ow! I'm upset.
What was the time on ice?
19.
19.
1945.
McKinnon.
You said
Stamkos.
he-
Oh, Stamkos Kucherov.
Yeah, Stamkos.
Stamkos Kucherov.
You going Kucherov?
Stamkos. Oh yeah, Kucherov. Sorry.
Number 6.
Yeah, Stamkos missed all that time.
Kucherov is number 6. Kucherov number 6, 142 games.
Braden Point.
Braden Point.
Braden Point.
Braden Point is not on there.
No, we didn't say Braden Point.
I said Braden Point
Crosby.
to the one Crosby.
There are no Washington or Pittsburgh players on this list.
This is I.
They haven't played 100 playoff games.
Come on, you're muting it.
So wait, what are we at?
So you've gotten so far 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So you have 4.
Have we said someone
7, 8,
that
9,
and haven't
10.
guessed it?
Yes, you have.
Bergeron?
There's one person that you said that you didn't guess.
I'm so smart.
Are you though?
Apparently.
You said it, but you said no
Oh yes.
because you said you'd rather have Torrey Krug over him.
He's just giving us the answers now.
Yeah,
I don't remember who it was.
You said his name, and you're like, I go Torrey Krug over him.
Wait, didn't we say the player that we said?
Ryan Suter.
No, there's the other guy.
Wasn't it Petrangelo?
No. You said this, and then right away he's like, nah, I go Krug over this guy.
I don't remember who I said.
Mark Stahl? I don't know. Who?
Why is it flashing now? Did I break it?
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
Who the hell did we say? I thought I said Krug over Petrangelo.
Chara?
No, Charlie, you didn't even see it. He said
I
Charlie.
know.
Who did you say?
I don't remember. Is it a defenseman?
It is.
It isn't Sergachev.
And he's number 4 right after McDonough on this list.
Who the hell played that much? Yossi? No.
Theodore?
Yes, Shea Theodore.
Oh my!
Okay, so now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You just need 7, 8, 9, 10. You need 4 more players.
Theodore played on Anaheim.
So Theodore was right.
Theodore played on Anaheim. I totally forgot about that.
They had playoff teams.
Okay, so now you've had your 5 strikes because of Braden Point, right? So
We didn't say Braden Point.
okay, fine. So you still have 1 strike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Palat?
Bergeron.
Palat's on there. I'm giving it to you. That's number 10.
Wow.
Alex Killorn?
He's on there, number 8.
Just throwing out names.
This is a horrible list.
So now you need 7 and 9.
So it's actually
It's just
so
Tampa.
few people have got the 100 games. It's just people who
It's just
Number
Tampa.
7 is a player who played for Philly this year. He played 51 games. He's 36 years old. And he's a defenseman.
What, Keith Yandel?
he didn't play this year.
He played 22, 23, 51 games for Philly this year.
Tony DeAngelo. No, still 36.
36 years old.
And he's a defenseman?
Yes.
Justin Braun.
Yes, correct. Number 7.
This is a joke, for sure.
And then you're missing number 9 now.
How did Justin Braun have 100 games played,
102. He just made it.
but
Brent Burns.
Brent Burns didn't? How does that make sense?
Yeah, Brent Burns doesn't have it, actually.
What
Last
website are you on?
NHL.com.
I don't believe it.
So is there a forward left?
The one that's left is a right winger.
Probably for Tampa.
Phil Kessel?
No. Right winger. He currently does play for Vegas.
Marchessault.
No.
Riley Smith.
Stone?
Riley Smith.
What a horrible list.
So we got Petrangelo, Hedman, McDonough, Theodore, Pavelski, Kucherov, Braun.
How many
Killorn,
people played
Smith,
100
and
games?
Palat. 21.
This is just a bunch
21
of,
people.
There's a bunch of Tampa and then like Justin Braun.
Pat Maroon's on the list, by the way.
Yeah, Steven Stamkos is
Ian
number
Cole's
12.
on the list, by the
Steven
way.
You
Stamkos
can't
makes
really
it.
do a top 10 where only 21 players are eligible.
Ryan
Why not?
Reeves makes the list, by the way. Derek Brassard makes the list. Carl Hagelin makes the list.
So
by
I
the
actually
way.
thought that putting in 100 games, like I thought about leaving it lower, but I thought putting in 100 games would make things a bit more easier for you.
No.
I don't know why I thought that then.
I think you should have put like 70.
Yeah, maybe 70 would have been better.
Wow.
You live and you learn, Omer.
But you know,
Learn to hate him.
Respect, I guess.
Just respect your elders.
Well,
I'm
that
not,
was
I'm not
our-
even gonna post a graphic of this because we're gonna be like, why is Justin Braun on a list? We may as well have just said Mark Stahl. It was like
We
close
may as well
enough.
just move on to the next game.
Oh, there's a game.
Head.
We all know what the head-to-head's going to be today.
We do?
We do.
Just do it. Let's see. I think I know.
What's your head-to-head today, Omar?
No, I think I know who you're going to pick.
Neymar,
That's why I'm
Messi.
saying.
Tell me.
No, I think he's going to put Gudis in a head-to-head. That's why I'm saying it.
That'd be weird.
I think he's gonna put Gudas in it.
But with who?
I'm guessing he's gonna put it with some other defenseman at similar level. I don't know, but he's gonna put it. He's gonna put Gudas in there.
All right,
Luke
guys. I'm gonna word this differently this time.
Oh no.
If you had a must-win game and you needed someone to just show up, just do what they need to do, whatever skill they may have,
Oh no.
who would you rather have
Oh god, he's gonna piss me off.
currently, today, in a
Okay.
must-win game?
And these are these players in their prime, or these players
No,
as they
right
are
now.
today?
Right
Okay,
now.
all
Today. Aiden Hill or Sergei Bobrovsky?
Neither.
I'm double clutching on this one because maybe a week ago it would have been Bobrovsky, no hands down.
It still is Bobrovsky. He's a
I
better
think-
goalie. It's just if you switch those players, it's because I literally made the argument for this before.
Yeah,
Bobrovsky, this whole playoffs, has faced like more high danger chances than Aiden Hill has in his entire career,
yes.
and they made it to the finals.
Yeah.
Essentially just because of him.
I gotta
And,
go
but-
Bobrovsky as well.
But then you look at what's happened in the finals. He's going to go 8-0. You look at what's happened in the finals. Bobrovsky is just getting plowed by a much better team, and he just can't hold the fort down any longer. Florida isn't really overly challenging.
See how
Hill
Sufi
that
defends
much.
goalies, but if it's like a defenseman, he'd be like, nope, he's just bad defensively now that he's getting run over.
What? Gudis was getting exposed then.
I didn't say names.
But you literally just made my point for me. Gudis was getting exposed the entire play.
No, I wasn't actually talking
But
about him.
Bobrovsky was
I wasn't
saving
talking
him.
about him.
Regardless of who it is.
It's John Carlson.
Wait, what?
Okay, so Evan, tell us why you would say Aiden Hill.
I wouldn't.
Oh, you wouldn't? Okay, all right.
What
I
was
was
the point
sure
of
you
this?
were gonna say Aiden Hill.
No. There's
You're always the one that does that.
no. I
Yeah.
know. I think
Because the way you worded it too, I was like, "Where's he going with this?"
I was hoping
sure-
one of you would be like recency bias, like, oh, he's coming and he's pretty good.
No.
I mean, the thing is, they both basically came in at the even.
But
Aiden came
okay, so
later.
I was also going to word it in a way like if you had to start a team right now with current contracts being taken into consideration, who would
Probably
you choose?
Still go.
What I'll
Bobrovsky.
say, what I'll say that I would put in Aiden Hill's favor is he did win out against David Draisaitl.
And he's a lot cheaper,
Can't take that lightly. Still.
Yeah, he had. But the thing is, he had one
like $9
one-
million cheaper.
Yeah.
He had like the thing with the Hill is he had. Well, in that case, then sure, but like he had one really good series where Bobrovsky did that for like 3 straight series,
Yeah. Although
which he didn't face McDavid Draisaitl, but like still
Yeah.
he faced 3 pretty good opponents plus half of Boston.
Yeah, but I think I don't want to discredit Vegas for what they did against Dallas. Still,
Yeah,
like I
Yeah,
mean,
it was a good team.
Aiden Hill was good in that series. As
he was
well.
good, but he wasn't great.
I mean, they won it in 6, didn't they?
Yeah, he did. But
Like-
I think the point is though that like Vegas gives him less to do in a high danger sense,
Yeah.
which is the complete opposite of Florida. Florida's whole game has been built around the fact that they can't play defense.
Yeah.
And your goalie is just there to be as good as he possibly can.
Yeah.
And they've done that for the last few years. And it worked really well for them when they won the President's Trophy. And then this goaltending didn't hold up in the playoffs.
Hmm.
Ho, 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 ho.
It's like, is that Porky Pig?
And then, but this year, it's like the regular season, they were letting in a ton of goals. They were scoring a ton of goals. And that was just the vibe. Make the playoffs barely. And then our goalie will hold it down for us. And that's essentially what's happened. Their game has really not changed that much. It's just like, it's just working less now because the goalie isn't playing as well as he was before. That's literally the only difference. Whereas Vegas, like, Brossoit faltered against Edmonton, and that's why I changed to Hill. But I don't think it was really that much of a difference. Like, that much of a difference where it being Hill being the specific goalie made, like, them reach the finals. I think the team itself is just, like, would give any goalie less stress than Florida.
So if you were starting a new team, you would go Aiden Hill.
Probably just because of the money. But, like,
The
that's a lot
money
of-
is the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a lot of money for a
If
goalie.
I'm going, like, I might take the shot on Aiden Hill in the regular season anyway, because Bobrovsky's been like, ugh.
Well,
No,
no,
regular
if they were
season.
both making like the same amount of money,
I'll go Bobrovsky, though, yeah.
Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Like if there was no salary cap, I'd go Bobrovsky too. But
Yeah.
like 10 mil for if it was 10 mil for Vasilevsky or Saros or Shesterkin or any of the other
Yeah.
foreign goalies
So
that
good
I'm naming.
goalies.
Right, exactly, because like Bobrovsky when he signed that contract was like
At that level, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
But
Or
the thing is, he had 2 Vezina seasons that really boosted his stats. He had like a few like okay seasons other than that, but for whatever reason, I guess that contract came like I think right after like a Vezina season or like a year removed from a Vezina season, and that's where he got 10 mil.
Yeah.
But like guys like Saros, Shesterkin, Sorokin, Vasilevsky have like sustained success. You can see that lasting. Thing is, they're making like way less than that. So like
Yeah.
even Vasilevsky's making what 8.5.
Something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Which for a guy that's won you that many games in playoffs plus good regular seasons, bargain. So in saying that, I think we'd all choose Bobrovsky right now, but he makes a lot of money. That's pretty much
Yeah,
the question.
Bobrovsky right now would be the correct choice.
I have a question. Who do you think the current best-looking goalie is? 'Cause I feel like a lot of goalies look a little odd.
I thought you were gonna say like an actual question.
Because you have
where
like
it's
Lundqvist,
yeah.
but then you also
Best goalie.
have like
Who do you think the
Ma-
best goalie? And then say who you think the best goalie in the league is right now.
Sorokin.
Sorokin.
And then I think the best-looking.
Wait, do you let him win? Who's the best goalie in the league right now?
I still want to say Shesterkin.
Okay, that's fine. It's not like it's a horrible answer. You didn't say Samsonov, so it's fine. Or Wall.
Or if I want to be like the NHL pundits, Vasilevsky.
Yeah,
He's
that's
still
kinda,
the best,
yeah,
you
no.
know.
He's still top 5, but
Yeah.
like
I still want to say
It's,
Shesterkin.
it's still lack of. It's the same thing with like Crosby, where he hasn't really dropped off necessarily that much in play. It's just guys that like there's just new players that are passing him.
Yeah.
Except for saying that about Vasilevsky at like 26, but
I mean, it's also I think fatigue plays a role. I think the rest of
Yeah.
this year will do him some good.
yeah,
Okay, best looking goaltender currently playing,
Markstrom.
Darcy Kemper.
Ilya Samsonov.
No, no,
Matt Murray, man.
no. I give Markstrom
Honestly,
over any of those.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
No,
He's like handsome.
Yeah, he's a handsome guy.
I think his teeth are like so perfect. It's like scary.
Yeah.
Which frightens me. No, I go Kemps. They always post suit pictures before the Caps game, so I'm like, he's good looking. I give Kemps. No bias.
Evan's sister, please let us know what you think.
We all have sisters.
Yeah, but they don't listen to this. I don't even think Lauren does, but like
Lauren, what do you think
Lauren's
about
definitely
this?
the most likely.
Probably.
No, but Lauren's the only one that actually watches hockey out of all our sisters.
My sister does.
She watches like here and there, but Lauren goes to games regularly.
My
and stuff.
sister is like a
It's
merchant.
like Omar.
She's like the merchant of like 07-8 Penguins, 08-9 Penguins, were like glory days.
Yeah,
And then like when they won the back-to-back.
yeah,
And she kind of just holds that
yeah.
to a higher regard than like everything else. Even though I watched her cry when Washington won against Pittsburgh. And it was the
You
happiest
want to
moment of my
expose
life.
her crying on our
It's the
podcast?
happiest
That's
moment of my
just
life.
mean.
I cried too, but in happiness. When Cokehead Kuznetsov pulled it off. I can't believe he was the best player of our playoffs that year other than Ovi.
But seriously, Lauren, we want to know your opinion.
Yeah, who the hell? Devin Levi? He's good looking.
Why is no one on the Markstrom train?
No, I'm not big on Markstrom.
Really?
No.
Sure, I don't know. Like, I mean,
I can't
I
think
don't-
of any
I
other
don't
goalies where I'm
particularly
like,
I'd say
that
Devin Levi. Have you guys seen
lucky.
Levi? He's like
it's like 11.
he's a better looking Carey Price.
We'll say Vasilevsky.
Carey Price. You know what? I'll say Carey Price. He's
No,
still
no,
technically.
no. I would say Carey. Like, I think Carey Price is, but I didn't pick him. He's currently not playing, so I didn't do that.
I still count it.
No, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he didn't play this season.
There's a 1% chance that he
If
plays.
we're counting Carey Price, then I think he wins by a mile. By the way.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think it's close if we're counting Carey Price.
To be fair, I actually do agree with that. The
Yeah.
thing is, Devin Levi looks like Carey Price. So that's why I'm saying it.
Okay. Yeah.
He's also not a kid. He's like 22 or 21 or something.
Yeah. But
Still
yes,
legal.
Do you know how old Omar is?
I'm Carey Price's age.
That's not good.
No, I'm not Carey Price. He's older than me. Okay.
Oh,
He's,
he's
he's not 29. He's in his 30s by now.
By now, yes.
I'm
What
older than
about-
Vasilevsky.
Give me hot or not, okay? I'll give you some goalies. Bobrovsky.
Not.
Not.
Fleury.
Hot.
Hot.
Or you can say mid as well.
We'll just keep it hot. Not. I'll say hot.
Shesterkin,
Not.
Sorokin,
Not.
Saros.
Hot.
Not.
Okay, this one's a little bit of dark
He's
horse.
mid.
This one's a bit of a dark horse. Freddie Anderson.
Not.
He gives me like
You gotta compare him to who you said not to.
Yeah.
No, I'm
And
comparing
then
him to people in general.
Because
Oh,
for
okay.
me, he gives me like Ed Sheeran vibes.
Yeah.
Because he's ginger.
Precisely. Kachekov.
Who?
I actually don't even know what he looks like.
Who?
Kachekov.
In Carolina?
Yeah.
I don't know what he looks like.
I don't know what he looks like.
Not.
Carter Hart.
Hot.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
It's cute.
we'll go hot there.
Used to save a puck. Jonathan Quick.
Hot.
Not.
Really?
I'm comparing it to like other players. I'm not doing it to regular.
Jonathan Quick looks like a
Like a
Twitch
goalie.
streamer,
Yeah.
if I'm being completely honest. Which isn't a bad thing. Aiden Hill.
What exactly does he look like?
Guys,
I think he kind of looks like Philip Grubauer.
Philip Grubauer.
No.
No.
That's like the mid territory.
He's kind of let
guess
the
it
beard
should
go a little bit. He's let it go too much.
Yeah.
Actually, you know who I thought was pretty good looking? Like, he pulled it off with his, like, suits and hats and stuff. Braden Holtby.
Pride Month.
Sure.
He's
Okay.
big on that. So go Braden Holtby.
I think the best looking goaltenders are Lundqvist, Price.
Rene.
Mm.
Rene got voted as like the best looking a lot of times.
Maybe he's like one of those guys where you see in person and you're like, huh.
Potentially.
He got voted the best. Let me look at his picture again.
Something about that. Nah, for me it was like nah, but
No,
That's a good picture.
actually, that's not bad. Even here, like, it's not bad.
the Finnish charm, bro.
Okay, fine. I'll call him in the hot category.
You're not big. Like I think Braden Holtby's hair messes him a little because it's just like so receding, but it's still long. So it's like
Eddie
Weird.
Belfour.
no.
Craig Anderson.
Nah. Ray
He
Emery.
looks like a teacher.
Ray Emery would be in the hot one.
Rest in peace.
Rip, yes.
Brian Elliott.
No.
Oh,
Judd,
that's where
Robin
Brian Elliott
Leonard.
was like one of my favorite. No.
No.
Ryan Elliott was like one of my mom's favorite players.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think she thought he retired or something. I told her
No, he's still around.
you're still playing, and she was like, "Oh my god,
How about any of the Sens goaltenders? Forsberg?
no." Sogard, no.
Yeah, no.
Sogard's got the height.
Cam Talbot's actually pretty good looking.
He's not a Sens goaltender.
I've seen him in person, though.
I've apparently seen him in person at Metro.
Oh, he was there?
Apparently.
Oh, he has a Ferrari. That's fun.
Yeah, that's
Is
why
it?
I was like, yeah, and there's a player's loading dock, and I saw someone, I was like, that kind of looks like Cam Talbot. And I just kept
There's a
doing
player's
cards.
loading dock at Metro?
Yeah.
Bro, you're so. You have the tag for player's loading dock.
Oh.
There's a player's loading dock at Metro.
I was like, what? He's talking about a player's loading dock? Like, players get some, like, separate entrance or something for their groceries?
Yes. Why was he still at? Oh, that's a big speculation, though. Why was Cam Talbot shopping at Metro when he's a free agent?
Wasn't,
He's a USA.
wasn't Chikrin in, like, Bottlewood here somewhere, too, for a bit?
Chikrin has a year left on his contract. That's fine.
Oh, two.
Chikrin has 2 years left. On
No,
his
wasn't Chikrin
contract.
at the works here?
Yeah.
That's
His
the
grandpa.
point.
Yeah.
He's exploring.
I'm surprised he was eating a cooked burger.
Yeah, he probably just got the patty.
No, bro. What's the assumption it was cooked? It just came out of the freezer.
Yeah.
He's looking at some of the few things that Ottawa does have to offer, like the works.
Yeah, Ottawa has lots.
I like Ottawa.
The Rideau Canal?
We're not leaving Ottawa, like some people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Alex can break it.
Okay, guys.
Alright.
We have basketball to watch.
Yes.
Go bucket.
Go Jokic.
No, buckets.
Jokic.
Buckets.
Actually, no, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go for Heat today because I want to see a nice series happen.
Let's
you know?
go.
Not really.
I just want.
Wait a second.
I want them to win at home.
Did you guys enjoy this podcast?
No.
You know where you can find us and share us?
Stitcher.
Homer, take it away.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM.
Stitcher.
You're supposed to just chime in.
I
with
know.
it.
I forgot. I was thinking about
Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube, of course.
And you can check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Unfortunate Diehards. And
To anyone still listening to this podcast, I love you. Just know that.
And Lauren, you want your list?
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Evan Cooper.